I was taken back, eventually back to the annex. You understand, 75 days. A lot of things go on. At this point, I was no longer in the work crew. I had a dream of going out and leaving when I left and going to Montana. Well, that was my idea. My mother came and saw me one day for visitation and told me she no longer wants me in her home. I really can't blame her. And what I had wanted to do for some time, wanting to be a writer, was to really experience life. I wanted to see the country. So, my mom said, I suggest to you, and we will take you out, I suggest to you that we take you, when you get out, I had a small check coming from a temp job. We'll give you your money, and we'll get you some supplies and a backpack and whatnot, and you can go and do what it is you want to do, which is see the country like a hobo, working here and there and seeing the country. Damn. I've seen a lot of the country now, but when you're sitting here and you got nothing, I'm just thinking now, it really sounds like a wonderful thing to do, to see the country. I had some minor incidents I won't get into. I was going to. Doesn't look like I have a lot of time left. On April 19th, 1995, a very significant event happened. That was the day, that night, I actually was going to get out on the 20th, but they let you out at 12:01 a.m. As soon as the clock ticks to the next day, you can go. On April 19th, like I said, I was sleeping during the day. On April 19th, I get woken up to this guy screaming, "No, no, not here, not in the United States." The Oklahoma City bombing happened that day. It is no coincidence that these things happen in significant moments of my life. I am connected to the universal mind, always have been. The Oklahoma City bombing happened, and it will be significant for me, for my future, on April 19th, 1995. Well, I had a necklace, significant too, that was a Jewish star, Star of David, that had the name Jesus written on it. When I left the 20th, that morning, I got all my stuff back, of course. Surprised to see that I actually had money the day that I was actually out there stealing. So drunk, didn't remember. Well, my parents would end up dropping me off in Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. And as I see, my time, if not, it may already be over. It's drawing close. Only got 15 minutes thanks to YouTube. In April of 1995, I was dropped off in Mammoth Cave National Park. Now I would spend 5 days before I would find a group of people in Kentucky called the Family, or the Bus People. Another moment in my life, as significant as it was. That we will get into on the next video. I spent about 5 days in Mammoth Cave. Not in the cave itself, in the national park. And, well, it was raining like it is now, pouring. I spent 3 days under a rock. I tell you, it's actually not that bad. Look, when you got nothing to lose, right? I eventually left the park. I was headed into Indiana. Wanted to check out a church up there. Just getting back into my Christian faith. I had started every day to pray. A very simple prayer every morning. God, send me in the directions you want me to go. Folks, when you're that desperate, that's what you pray. Never pray that prayer. Never. I ended up getting some rides here and there. I had mentioned my friend from jail, Bud. He left, but he actually came back. He was arrested again. I won't go into details. Sad thing is, I expected to see him again. And I found out about a year ago that he died very young, late 50s. Anyway, I got in several rides. Found myself in a city, a town, not even a one stoplight town, very small, called Cub Run, Kentucky. Well, I had been walking before I'd gotten rides. I probably walked a good, I'm going to say 8-9 miles at least, with a 60-pound backpack on my back. I had some food, canned food, and I was eating. I slept in this little grove of trees for a while. Then the next morning, it was raining a little bit, just enough to wake me up. I realized I need to spend a little bit of this money. I think I had like $150 to buy a little pup tent. So that's what I was headed out to do. Well, I was on the side of the road, and I remembered that I hadn't prayed that morning. So I knelt down with my backpack on and prayed my God, take me where you want to go. Direct me in the paths you want me to go today. At the time, at that same exact time that I was praying, the people that I would spend almost 4 years with drove past. Well, I continued to walk. I walked a good 3 or 4 miles. And they, having not been able to work that morning, had come back. I was hitchhiking. Now, the leader of this group, Richard, had been told by the Spirit of God not to pick up hitchhikers. Do not pick up hitchhikers. Richard picked me up in their old, crappy, beat-up truck. I got to sit in the back, in the bed. First person I met, I'd actually met Rob, and I'll get into that later because I don't have a lot of time. It's not important. First person I really met was Mark. He noticed my necklace, Star of David. He asked me, you see, I had been really getting interested in the idea of keeping what is called the Sabbath, which is Saturday, traditionally. That's when Jews keep it. Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. He said, we are Sabbatarians. Do you know when the Sabbath is? And I said, yeah, Saturday. I was being directed again by Jehovah again to be in this group. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to talk about this. They asked me if I'd like to have something to eat for breakfast, and I said yes. Put myself in the hands of God, Jehovah. Take me up in the middle of nowhere, up this hill. We keep going and going up this hill. This is where, if they wanted to do anything to me, they could. But I remember when we got to the top of the hill and the trees just opened up like this. It was a beautiful place. Herein starts my 4 years almost with the family, a Christian commune, cult group.